Hey, I made it. I'm on time. That's a miracle. How are you this morning? Man, it's been a long time. This is the first live stream since Thursday of last week. I look at myself in the camera here and I look like different. I look like thinner or something, but I'm not. Believe me, I'm not thinner. Man, I've missed doing this. I've had a wild couple of days. Not anything that you need to be worried about, but just wild. And so I'm going to get right into it today. I figure we'll just go over kind of the plans. We're going to talk about the weekend starting on Friday. We're going to talk about some things that happened to me during showings, which, it's kind of fun sometimes. Then we're going to talk about mortgage demand falling. We're going to talk about one other thing that was fascinating. The Realtors Index, the Realtor Confidence Index, which is, don't try to make money off of that prediction. And then just some other stuff that comes along, but mainly just wanted to get back to the live stream. Have you ever had the joy of someone graduating, like high school? I mean, it's all encompassing. It's just amazing. Just event after event after event. And Friday morning, I'd wanted to do a live stream. I'd known, Wednesday, Thursday, like I'm not going to be able to do a live stream at the time that I want to. My thought is the place I had to be there at 8, which, if you know me, that's a little bit early. And then it was supposed to last until 10. And I figured if I got home by 10:30, I could do a stream between 11 and noon and then go start showing houses, because I had a ridiculous amount of houses to show on Friday. I'm not exactly sure what that was about. But I get to this event and it's an award ceremony, and the daughter, cleaned up. I mean, it was fantastic. Was she the top person to get the most awards? No. Was she like the one that didn't get any awards? No. She was up there a lot, and I put her in the top 10. That's all that I'll worry about. So I'm happy for her. The wife, there's, senior picnic afterwards. I can't go to the picnic. There's no way. I got to work. But the thing ran long. I think it ran until like 11. And then let's give you some insight about me. You ever have like squirrels attack your backyard? Like, we have 2 raised gardens that I built for my wife, and it's right now it's in the spring, and we're planting stuff, and a squirrel had just attacked our garden. And then the squirrel, I have some plantings that I've started, some trees, and squirrel attacked those too. I don't hate animals, but man, I get upset when my wife can't garden, and I get upset when my work has gone to nothing. And so I had a little live animal trap. Now, I don't want to kill an animal. I don't want to kill any animals. I'm not that way. So I've had success in the past. So I put out the trap, and nothing happened for like 2 days. And the big difference now is we have a dog that's like big and dumb and just not good at much. It's really sad. So not a real good defender of, the squirrels or anything. Every once in a while he'll bring a rabbit, but I don't really want to see a dead rabbit either. So that's not very helpful. But anyway, put the trap out. It took a couple days, managed to catch a squirrel on Friday, and I've got a squirrel in a cage and it's hot out, and we've got this graduation thing, and I don't want to, I don't know. I don't want the thing to die or dehydrate it. It's already scared. It's already stuck in a cage. So, after the graduation event, I came home and I immediately left to let this squirrel out. I took him to a park. If you're mad at me or if that's illegal where you live, well, fine. I'm going to catch a few squirrels and get rid of them so that they stop getting in my yard. That's just the way it's going to be. So, so I do that, and then it starts pouring down rain. And, like the graduation event is outside. So I'm like, well, that's going to stink. Wife, we've got some car issues. So like, meaning we don't have a lot of cars. We're down to 2 cars. We're down to 2 cars from 4. And then, that's not good. And so then because of that, I was like, I need to eat something, because if I don't eat something now, I'm not going to eat anything the rest of the day, because I've got showings from 12 o'clock. I'm sorry, I've got showings from 1 o'clock to 7:30 is my last showing. So get something to eat. Now I feel horrible. We go, and then the showings are across 3 different counties. So that's a long way. They're not anywhere close to each other. So the first group I go to, and it's hot, by the way. We're talking, once it started raining, I mean, the humidity level just went up to like July levels here. So it's hard to look nice and professional when you're beat down by the humidity and heat in your nice clothes. So, in your work clothes. So I go to the first house and like it. Buyer likes it. Buyer doesn't have his wife with him. Buyer really can't make a decision on his own without his wife. So now he's like, can we come back and see it? So now I have to schedule something for the evening. Like, yes, we can do that. Which I knew was a bad idea because I had other showings. So then we looked at another house. That house was terrible. So that was done. So then I came home because I had 3 houses to look at right after that. I needed to print off the details. So then we started on the next round of showings. First house, cute house. Buyer liked it. The second house, by the way, the difference was $10,000 for each house. So let's just say one house was $150, one house was $160, and one house was $170. Or if you want to be like feeling good about yourself, one house was $260, one was $270, and one was $280. How about that? Okay, so we go to the first house, and it's great. It's staged well. For this particular buyer, it's almost perfect for them. So then the second house is on a little bit of a busier street. And so with that, hi Irene. With that, I was like, the house was nice. It actually had a washing machine or a dishwasher, which is what I was looking for anyway. So I thought that was worth more than, I don't think it was worth $10,000 more than the first house, but I thought it was worth something. And so then we went to the next house, and that was the most expensive house. And it had not been remodeled. There was nothing great about it. It was going to cost maybe $50,000 to $60,000 to get the house to where you'd want to live in it. Bathroom was destroyed. The kitchen was dated. It was bad. The basement had a carpet that was moldy. It wasn't good. So that was the showings. And then if you were in that situation, the first house, which was the cheapest, was going to be the house that you were going to put an offer on. I mean, it was obvious. The problem is everyone else is looking in the same area and they see the same thing. And so this first house is going to cost a fortune. The offer that you're going to have to put in is going to be way over asking, probably going to not appraise. It's just going to be a mess. So I tried to explain that to my buyers. They didn't understand. They're like, well, we just want this house. Like, well, you have a better chance of getting the middle house than you do the first house, but we put an offer in. And so I'll get to that in a little bit. But then I really faced a dilemma then at 7:00. Do I go to University City or do I go back to Jeffco, Jefferson County? So I couldn't be in both places at once. So I had a house that was of some interest to my buyers, and then I had a house that another group of buyers they had never been to, so we don't know if they're interested or not. So I called the second group of buyers and I said, look, I'm not going to be able to make this. I'm going to have Jan, my colleague, go with you to see it. If you really, really like it, I will come back Saturday morning and I'll put it together. And they're like, okay, that's cool. So then I was down in Jeffco to show the house the second time. So we go through it and it's a compelling house. I'll share some more about it now because it's under contract. We like the house. It was weird though. And I'll tell you a couple of things why. One, the yard, it was a corner lot, but the yard was really, really small in the background. There was a large deck with a covering over it that took up most of the space in the yard in the back. And my buyers in particular were looking for a house that they could either build a pool or it had a pool. This one in Jefferson County was in just straight rock. And then there was a sewer in the backyard. These particular buyers are not interested in having a sewer in their backyard based on prior negative experiences. So then, I mean, it's crazy. So inside the house, the first floor is exactly what these buyers would like. There's no question. Had a big bedroom. One thing I would say, like, if I could talk to home builders across the United States, okay, one big master bedroom is great, okay, but if you could put a second bedroom in a home that's bigger than 10 by 10, then we're talking between 100 and 500,000. Okay, if you could just give me a second bedroom that's more than 10 by 10, I would really like that. I think you would sell a lot of homes. And I guess some people may argue with me and say, oh, no, it's better to just have one big bedroom and then two really dinky bedrooms. But no, I'm pretty sure most buyers I talk to, that they don't want to put their kid in like a closet. They want them to have their own room of a decent size so that they can kind of hang out in there and leave the parents alone. This is what I've learned. I mean, I would never know that if I hadn't. So anyway, it was nice. And then it was like a story and a half. So it had two bedrooms and a bathroom upstairs, those very small bedrooms, but whatever. And it had a little area where you could, have a second living room if you wanted to. The kitchen was fine. Everything was fine. The garage, here's another issue, builders. If you're going to build a garage, would you please make it long enough so that a truck would fit in it? Like just a pickup truck? I don't feel like that's asking too. I mean, if you're going to make an HOA rule that says all your cars must be in your garage, they can't be in your driveway, then at least make the garage big enough so somebody can put their truck in it. I mean, that shouldn't be too difficult. But anyway, this did have a big enough garage. And so we go to the basement. Basement is odd. You go downstairs and you enter into a bedroom, which has its own door. Then you go to another room, which is the walk-in closet. And then it's a utility area in the back. You go through these other doors and from the bedroom, and you get into a living room with a kitchen in the basement and double doors. And the issue there is what are we going to do with this kitchen and everything in the basement? Like, it's nice. It's nice, but it's not going to work. So I don't know. So I could understand why the buyers would be hesitant to purchase this home based on the things that I've told you. It didn't have the right lot for what they eventually wanted. It had an odd basement that was going to have to be reconfigured in a way that made a little more sense. And the house was pretty expensive relative to other homes that we were looking at. So they said, hey, let me think about this for a day. So this is Friday. And it's like by this time it's 8:00. I get home, I check with my colleague Jan. I said, how did that house go in University City? She said it was an absolute disaster. It was a fix and flip. where they didn't fix it up very well, and the finishes were terrible, and they were asking an awful lot of money for a house that didn't really warrant that amount of money. So I was like, well, that's a shame. Now I'm sure it's going to go under contract this weekend. Don't get me wrong. Just because you got a terrible house in this market isn't a reason for not buying a house for some. So that was okay. So now going into Saturday, I know I have to write one contract. I might have to write another one. And depending on the situation. Now, another thing that's confusing to people, and I'm probably going to go over today, and I'm sorry, but just deal with it. You might think that as a buyer's agent, I literally just go show a house. The people say, I want to buy the house. You write an offer and you send it in. Like, what did that take, about half hour? I mean, let's take out the showing part. Maybe a half hour to do the work. You're so wrong. You're so wrong. It can stretch over 3 days. Because you go to the house, then people might want to ponder, whether or not they want to buy the house. In the meantime, you're running more comps. You're trying to find more information out about the house. Okay. Then when they make a decision that they want to purchase the house, now it's a question of, well, what is the offer going to look like? And is the offer that we're going to write, does it have any chance of actually getting the property under contract? And now this can stretch over, like I said, three or 4 days. And it's phone calls back and forth. It's text back and forth. It's emails. It's not as simple as you'd believe it to be, as efficient as you'd wish it to be. And then you can also have this. You can work that whole time, those 3 days. And then the buyer decides like they're not interested in writing an offer. They just get to a certain point where they're like, I'm not going to write an offer. I don't like the house that much, which is the right move for a buyer if they're not interested in the home. It just ends up taking a lot of time. So Saturday, I wrote for the one group of buyers, it was the first time they've ever written an offer. And so that takes an extra amount of skill because they have questions along the way, and it's totally fine. And you want to answer all those questions, and it just takes a lot longer. So I knew that was what I was going to run into. So I wrote a draft offer on Saturday, and I sent it over, and I said, hey, we'll Zoom, or, we can meet up, or, FaceTime, or whatever you want to do. Let's go over this offer. Well, the buyer was like, I'm out of commission until Sunday. Okay. Now, a couple of things on real estate transactions that people don't always understand. And I don't even understand them now. One, right now in my market in St. Louis, a listing agent will list a house and say, showing start on Friday, offers are due Sunday at 5, decision Monday, or something to that effect. Okay. But they give you a couple days to go look at the house. Some of them say, however, we have the right to accept any contract at any time in any order, which they don't even need to write that. I get it. Here's my problem. If you're going to say the house is for sale until Monday, and that means as a buyer's agent, I can show this house up until Monday. Okay. Then you cannot possibly go under contract Friday night. Why are you doing that? I mean, I don't even care if it's the best offer ever. You told everyone, you signaled to everyone in the marketplace that that the house is going to be available until Monday. And now you lock it down on Friday night? What the hell is wrong with you? Like, how are you working in the best interest of your buyers or your clients? I'm sorry, I messed that up. I'm not going to be able to use that as a clip now. How are you working in the best interest of your sellers when you lock down showings on the first day that the property is available? And then I've seen even some of them where you get the house sold before anybody is supposed to be able to have walked through it. It goes from coming soon to sold or pending when the showings didn't even start yet. So how does that happen? So that's annoying. That's annoying. And so that's exactly what happened to one of the houses this weekend. The buyers it was Friday night. We thought we might be interested. They wanted until Saturday to make a decision. By Saturday at 5 o'clock, the house was off the market. It was sold. And it's like, I can't even, you like, whoever's trying to sell these houses, they're just not good agents. Because we're number one, we're not in a normal market. Number two, because we're not in a normal market and you know you're going to get multiple offers, you should wait until you get the best offer. Like, at least let people show the house until like Monday. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And it's not just me. Jan had 2 deals this weekend where she was ready to show a house on Sunday and they canceled the showings because they were already under contract. Even when the listing agent says the house will be available until Monday. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. So anyway, I had the offer in draft. And then on Sunday, one of the most awful things happens to me. I get stuck in an emergency situation, which means basically I don't have access to my computer. My phone is limited. My phone ability is limited. And now this is undetermined. I don't know how long this is going to last. And I need to get this offer put together and I need to get it over to the listing agent. There's no question. So I called Jan and I text Jan and I said, can you put this offer together? Here's the terms. Here's the different terms. She said, sure. So she put the offer together for me, sent it over, got it signed. I got it to the listing agent. That was about, I want to say 2 or 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. And then I could have my weekend. And by saying have my weekend, basically have a couple hours where I don't have to show houses or do any work. And I don't know that I'm even that excited about it. I would love to write another contract. By the way, at 6 o'clock on Saturday night, the buyers of potential buyers of that one house decided that they weren't interested. But it didn't even matter that they decided they weren't interested because the house was already under contract. So it's not like they could have put in an offer anyway. So so from Friday to like Sunday at 4, I did not really get a chance to relax. And so I'm coming to you today. Like last night, did I sleep well? I did. I think I slept better than I've slept in a long time. I've been waking up before the alarm, way before the alarm, for like last week, and it was causing some issues. It's weird how it feels like if you're overtired, you can just never get a good sleep, and that's what I've been running into. And then finally, I got some sleep last night. It was restful sleep, and I feel good. I feel good to start the day. How are things with you? I feel a little bit selfish. It's 20 minutes in and I just ask how things are with you. Are things going okay? Are you looking to buy a house? Rates are a problem. I have a guy like making 6 figures and he's like, this is expensive to finance this. This payment is pretty ridiculous. Like, it is. But market looked hot. Do I know if I'm going to get that house today? They're going to make a decision around noon. I don't know. I'd like to, but I don't know. Who knows? Right? Somebody could outbid us. On that particular house, we had a great offer, and then the offer started going south when the buyer was like, they started to think about things. Like, I don't like this. And so you can't, as a buyer's agent, you can't push people to do things they don't want to do. So we had to lower our offer, and I don't know if that's going to work or not, but we'll find out. So I wanted to go over something that I thought was kind of funny. I don't know if I got to do better with my storytelling. There's no question, but on Thursday night, I knew I had to show a house Thursday afternoon. I complained about it pretty much Thursday morning on the live stream. I was not thrilled. So I said, it was not going to be a good house. I knew it wasn't going to be a good house for this buyer. And so I felt stupid showing it. Like I felt like it was a waste of my time. And it was. It was. But anyway, we went and I got there early. And as a real estate agent, I can tell you that like doors are problematic at times, and locks and keys. Like you wouldn't think that, but man, I get up to the house. I'm there early, and it's a nice day, so I'm kind of okay with that. The weather was great, so I was outside, and lockbox instructions are, make sure you do this and that. Okay, so I get to the door, and there's a storm door, and I press the button to open the storm door, and it's jammed, like it's locked. Now, I got to get through the storm door so that I can get into the house. And now my buyer still isn't there. And so, you wouldn't think it, okay, but you can really screw things up as an agent as far as you don't want to break anything. It happens. Like your buyer will touch something and it'll break it. And you're like, oh. Then the seller's agent's going to call and complain. But this door, I felt like I could just rip the door right off if I needed to. I'm not that strong or anything. You just open it. Just pull it open. I mean, the lock can't be that great, but this thing was on there, and I was like, I don't want to do that because it's the first day of showings for this house. So I called the agent. I said, I can't get the door open. And the agent's an older person. They're like, are you stupid? There's no reason why you can't. Okay. If you don't want to do that, you can go in the backyard and open it that way. The back door lock is the same. All right. So I can't get this thing open. So I go back to the backyard, and there's like two gates that are wooden and they're old, and I got to pry those open, and then it's narrow and there's leaves everywhere, and it's not fun. So I go in to the back, I unlock the door, and I go through, and I go to the front, I open the front door, which now isn't locked. And then the storm door, I don't know what's wrong with it. I press the button, it doesn't open. I pull on it, it doesn't open. I finally, I was like, is it, I felt like it was locked the whole time. So I changed the thing, and I think it was locked. I think the front door was locked. And I think that the listing agent never even checked. I think they didn't even care. House was vacant, so that was no big deal. So we walked through this house. It's a classic case of the pictures look great, but then when you actually go to the house, it's a disaster. The basement was built for somebody that was maybe 5 feet tall, which is problematic because my buyer's like 6'3". So we can't do that. The one bathroom on the main floor needs total remodel. Kitchen is terrible. Everything's got a drop ceiling, which here, if you got a drop ceiling in a residential space, it means you're hiding something for the most part, especially if the house is like 60 years old. The upstairs there were two big spaces, but they were chopped up with the roof line, and then it was hot. Like there was no heat going up there, no vents, no ducts. So it's like, are you happy now? We just literally went and saw this property. It's terrible. Buyer's like, yeah, this is terrible. Didn't apologize, but whatever. I'm used to it. So that was fascinating. As an agent, you want to be able to make it easy for a buyer's agent to show your house. Like you want to have clear instructions. If it's got an alarm, you kind of want to tell somebody how to work the alarm, because there's like 1,000 different alarms. I don't know. I mean, when I'm walking in the house for the first time, I don't know what I'm going to have to do compared to other houses. And then there's these alarms from like 20 years ago. They're like push button. They actually have it's not a screen. So anyway, I don't know. So last evening, Sunday evening, I saw a group message from the agent that was listing the house. They have multiple offers and all this stuff. And I'm like, good for them, but I'm out. Like we were never going to put an offer on that house. Wasn't going to happen. So have I brought you up to speed sufficiently where I'm at now at 9:30? on a Monday morning, the 16th of May, 2022. We'll never have another one. Let's go into a feature that I had dropped for a while because I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It got to be that it gets too much, but I'm going to go and we're going to talk about what's beating me live streaming today. So let's take a look. We've got live Seoul, Korea, never sleeps, walking around fantastic Gangnam streets. 86 people watching that. Okay. We've got Flagstaff, Arizona, virtual rail fan live. 68 people watching that. I know you can't see it, but what it is basically someone has a camera perched above a train track and there's not even a train. Like literally I'm being beat by someone that's got a camera that's showing a train track. The next show is Decorah Eagles, North Nest, powered by explore.org. I don't know if you can see the Eagles or not, but 228 people watching that. That's why I know something's wrong on my YouTube live stream. Like I like Eagles, okay? But I should be able to beat that with my live stream, with my real estate live stream. Live backyard animal cam in Ohio, birds, rabbits, and squirrels. 198 people watching that, and there is a squirrel eating corn. I can understand why one would be excited about that. Another eagle's nest, only 86 people watching that, and that's really, to me, the magic of YouTube. You've got two eagle watching channels of nests. One, 228 people watching that. It has a nice thumbnail. The second one, not such a good thumbnail, but a better picture of the eagles. And that's only got 86 people watching. Let's see, what else do we have? We got crypto. I don't really care. Duluth Canal Cam, got 359 people watching that. Then we've got Big Bear Bald Eagle Live Nest Cam. There's 1,700 people watching that. Two Harbor Bald, I guess it's Bald Eagle Cam all day, all the time, because we got 44 people watching Two Harbors Bald Eagle Cam. The University of North Dakota Department of Atmospheric Sciences Sky Cam, 2 people watching that. It's hard to believe that. I mean, I'm literally getting beat by some sky cam in North Dakota. It's not the mountains or anything. We've got somebody got a webcam in San Diego. There's a tiny martini bar in St. Augustine, Florida. 110 people watching. It's 9:30 in the morning. There's no one even there. Someone watching a bridge in Port Huron. 22 people watching the beach camera in Galveston, Texas. I can sort of understand that. Port of Friday Harbor Marina live stream. 7 people watching that. I just don't understand. What did I do wrong? Resorts Casino Hotel Beach Camera. That's 10 people watching that. I mean, I can understand like live streaming a video game and people watching that, kind of. But like I'm getting beat by an Eagle Cam. And it's like there's 6 Eagle Cams and I'm being beaten by all 6 of them. That's not good. Not good. Anyway, I'm not trying to be depressing or anything. It's like we can't literally have one person watching more than an Eagle Cam. Let's get into some articles. Let me get this thing in order. Okay, here we go. Ready? This was on our Google search for this morning. Let's get to it. It says traffic scramble. Hundreds of eggs cracked, spilled across I-30 in truck crash. The crash happened near the I-45 interchange. Traffic is being directed to the I-45 exit. Breakfast came early Monday morning in the messiest way possible. A big rig carrying eggs crashed in the westbound lanes of I-30 right before the I-45 interchange. This is in Dallas. While crews worked to clean up the eggs, those westbound lanes will be closed. Traffic was being directed to the I-45 exit to avoid the mess. There's some images of the nasty. The truck was carrying about 30,000 pounds of eggs, according to the Dallas County Sheriff's Office. Several hundred of the eggs were cracked open during the crash. Spilling across the highway, dozens of boxes were thrown from the truck. The driver was not injured in the crash, but the highway was expected to be shut down for several hours as the crews cleaned up the mess. Now, I read another article about this. Apparently, the fuel had leaked as well. So you have fuel and you have eggs. Now, how do you clean up? It's not 30. Obviously, all 30,000 eggs didn't crack. 30,000 pounds of eggs. Now, I don't know how many pounds are in an egg. I don't think an egg is a pound. That would seem to be a very large egg. I'm not sure. But 30,000 pounds, I mean, what do you use, a hose? I don't have any expertise in egg cleanup. None. Okay. Moving on. Oh, goodness. We got to pop up. Let's look at some homes. Let's look at some luxury homes in Atlanta now. I mean, I don't know what's been going on lately, but I've had to like move my searches because like this 10,900 and 10,900,000, it's like the same listing. This is the same listing. This is a new construction. This has been on the market for 450 days, or that one of those two. I had to get rid of that. So I'm on the 4th and 5th level of Realtor.com in a major city. I will say that I think that has to do with the level of inventory. I really do think that there's just no inventory, even in the luxury space. Let's get to it. Oh, this is the one. $10.9 million, 8 bedrooms, 10.5 bath on a 5-acre lot, Atlanta, Georgia. 101 days on the market, 6-car garage. Property details, too much. Property history, just listed February of 2022, so I'm not going to get upset about that. 45 pictures. I love that it's less than 50. Let's go through them. Oh, boy. Lots of stuff. Ooh, that's a nice kitchen. That's weird. There's a stove, and then there's a... That's weird. We're in the shower over here with the door pointed out that direction. A lot of wallpaper. It's a nice room. There's your pool. There's your tennis court. There's your garage. It's nice. It's a nice house. 10.9 million. Seems like a lot. Who knows? Moving on. We got this one, 9 million, 6 beds, 8.5 baths, 15,500 square feet on about a 1 3/4 acre lot, 16 days on the market, built in 2015. It says it has multiple listings. Don't really want to look at that. Don't really want to look at the monthly payment. It's been listed for a long time. Listed since 2020. September of 2020. It's not good. Is there anything in the details that say why it has been completed in 2020 by the current owners? So since 2020, it's been for sale. Almost a spec home, maybe. 73 pictures is too many. I'm not going to look at 73 pictures. So, and when I see 15,500, I can see kind of like an extra outbuilding there. So I think that the house might be a little bit smaller, which is, I'm sure it's still huge, but that's a nice outdoor space. Like right now in St. Louis, the weather broke maybe Saturday, and the heat broke, and now it's really nice. And we'll get about a month of really nice weather, and then it'll be nasty. It's just weird. I mean, obviously someone's lived there. Yes, there's clothes. It just has been for sale for so long. Okay, I'm done. 330 Argonne, 6 cars, house built in 6-car garage, house built in 1929, 5 bedrooms, 4.5 baths, 9,286 square feet on a 4 3/4 acre lot. I'm not going to do that. It's huge. Listed in 2022, just a couple days ago, May 3rd. Okay. It looks like it has like its own little pool house, which would be cool. And this house, like, built in 1929. So, I mean, it's going to have some features. Oh, there's a dog. I mean, the kitchen is tiny. It's going to have very defined spaces, like very, very boxy, which I don't have a problem with. Beautiful outdoor space. I would have liked to seen the pool being open. Nice house. I'm done. Let's take a look at mortgage rates for today. This is on theorealtystl.com. That's our brokerage page. Let's get down here. 5.38%, up a little bit from 5.35%. But, for the last 2 weeks, it seems like the more, even though we had a little, right when they announced I think it was 50 basis point increase, the 30-year did move up, but now it's kind of sitting around this 5.3, 5.4 level. That'd be good news for everyone. So, good news relative. if you believe that the Fed isn't going to screw this up, which is a big assumption, they need to tamp down inflation but not kill the economy. It's a tough balancing act. You're going to have a little bit higher mortgage rates to kind of tamp down the housing market, but it doesn't feel like it is even now. I mean, the house that I said was pretty nice. There were people when I got there. There were people, and there were people when I left. I'm sure they had a lot of people at the open house. Who knows? I know that on that particular house, we should have been a little higher on our asking price at the end of the day. But whatever. Okay, so where are we at? I don't know. Would you go buy a house at 5.5% on a mortgage on a 30-year fix if you didn't have a choice? Yeah, you would. Let's look at this now. This is the survey is huge, and it's a PDF, and I don't really want to go over it that way because it's a lot of pictures. So I'm just going to do this. This is the highlights. Realtors, are they feeling confident? Okay. It says the Realtors Confidence Index survey gathers on-the-ground information from realtors based on their real estate transactions in the month. This report presents key results about market transactions. Now, let me tell you something as a real estate agent. When you sell a house, let's say you're like a single agent like myself. You're not really looking at it from the brokerage level. I mean, I could look at it from the brokerage level, but let's just stick it where I'm at. And so anytime I sell a house, it's a good day. Like anytime it closes and I get a check, like that's a pretty good day. I'm feeling pretty confident about everything if I get a check. If I don't get a check, and if it's a long time before I think I'll get another check, I'm not very confident. That's really how it works for me. I don't need any logic. I don't need the market to be good. I don't need the market to be bad. I don't care. I literally just need a check. You give me a check, I'm happy. I don't know. I mean, that's where I'm at. Demand continues to outpace supply. This is just the highlight. Buyer competition remained intense, with response reporting an average of 4.8 offers for every home sold, 4.8 in the prior month and 4.8% 1 year ago. 57% of buyers' price offers were above the list price, which I don't believe that. It's even higher. Half of the buyers had made at least 2 prior offers and lost before succeeding on the third try. I don't believe that because, I mean, even if it was an average, I have some people that put in 1 offer and get a house, and other people it takes years. So it doesn't average out for me. The way I could use that information to benefit me. With home buying demand still outpacing supply, properties typically stayed on the market for fewer days compared to 1 year ago. It's 17 days. The share of first-time buyers slightly increased to 30%, although the share was below the level 1 year ago. 32% in the 1 year ago. And then cash buyers continued to make up a higher market share at 28%, 25% in the prior month, 23% 1 year ago. And so that's that. Does that help us? No. Let's do it. We're going to download the thing, and I'm going to just check my screen. Can you see it? I will say this. One thing that I really like about Microsoft Edge is you can actually open a PDF within the browser, and it doesn't have to be on a different page or anything like that, and you can actually read it. So, I mean, here's the report. And see, it has all these things. Now, can I make it a little bigger? Yeah, I can make it a little bigger. So, like, realtors' expectation on buyer traffic within the next 3 months. Well, that's their expectation. So strong. And then it says realtors' expectation on seller traffic, weak, stable, strong. Don't know. I mean, I don't know. Median days on the market, 17 days. Yeah, 16 and 20 for me. I agree with that. First-time buyers is percent of residential sales, 30%. Cash sales is percentage of residential sales, 28%. Non-cash buyers who put down less than 20%. Like, that is a key. Like, almost 69%. People think, oh, you have to put down 20% to buy a house. It's just not the case. Distressed property sales by property type, foreclosures and sources. They're falling off the map because the equity in the homes is so high. The average number of offers received on the recent most closed sale, 4.8. Average number of offers received on the most recent sale reported by Realtors, 5+ in Texas, 5+ in California, 5+ in Alaska. We're here 2. I don't believe that. Contract, 75% of the contract was settled on time, which means you bought the house the day you said you were going to buy it. Contract was delayed, and then the contract was terminated. 6% of all contracts don't make it. This is kind of fun. Problems encountered for delayed contract. Issues related to financing, appraisal issues. Well, the house doesn't appraise. The other is fascinating. I'd love to know that. Those would be your good stories. Problems encountered for terminated contract, home inspection, environmental issues. And so this is key. Why are you writing an offer where there's no inspection when you know that 32% of the time that's the reason why the deal gets blown up anyway? I mean, I think that's why there's the high level of buyer's remorse. And you say, sellers won't take a house if you do the inspection. Take an offer. It's not true. It's not true. You have to be able to set a certain, level of interest. But I think of the sellers, I think maybe 98% of them are people either buying new houses themselves and they understand the difficulty of the market, or they're just good people and they say, look, if I were buying a house and putting forth such a financial commitment, I think I would want to get an inspection too. So I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with putting in an inspection. Now they may not get, they may take an offer that doesn't have an inspection, but that's on them. I don't know. That was kind of fun. A lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. And check the chat, just make sure I'm not messing things up. Okay. Next, I thought this was interesting. I'm seeing like murmurs, waves, evidence that a lot of startup mortgage companies are eating it, meaning they're going out of business, and I don't know why. Everyone says the refinance business is totally gone. I can understand that. I mean, if you could refinance at 2% versus 5%, you don't really want to be at the 5% level. But anyway, let's read through this. This is on CNBC. It says mortgage demand falls to nearly half of what it was a year ago as interest rates continue to rise. Okay. It says the average contract interest rate for 30-year fixed mortgage with conforming loan balances increased to 5.20 last week from 5.13. This is from April 20th. It's May 16th. So refinance demand fell another 8% for the week and was 68% lower than the same week 1 year ago. That's where you really see they hurt. Mortgage applications to purchase a home fell 3% for the week and were 14% lower than the same week 1 year ago. So I can understand that. Mortgage demand continued to crumble last week as mortgage rates climbed their highest level since 2010. Total application volume fell 5% last week compared with the previous week and was nearly half of what it was 1 year ago, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association's seasonally adjusted index. The average contract interest rate for 30-year fixed-rate mortgages with conforming loan balances increased to 5.20% last week from 5.13, with points rising to 0.66 from 0.63 for loans with a 20% down payment. 1 year ago, the rate was exactly 200 basis points lower at 3.20. Ongoing concerns about rapid inflation and tighter U.S. monetary policy continue to push Treasury yields higher, driving mortgage rates to their highest level in over a decade. Rates increased across the board for all loan types, said Joel Kahn, MBA's associate vice president of economic and industry forecasting. With rates now rising quickly after a prolonged period of hitting record lows, very few borrowers are now able to benefit from a refinance. That demand therefore fell another 8% for the week and was 68% lower than the same week 1 year ago. It marks 6 straight weeks of declines in refinancing. The refinance share of the mortgage activity decreased to 35% of total applications from 37%. Mortgage applications to purchase a home fell 3% for the week and were 14% lower than the same week 1 year ago. That annual decline is now beginning to grow as housing becomes even more pricey. I don't know. It's kind of weird. When you go buy a house, okay, you say, I want to go buy a house. The next question is, okay, well, what can you afford? Okay, there's your application right there to me. But that's not really an application. That's a pre-approval. It is, I guess it's an app. But what happens really is sometimes once people see what it's going to cost for them to get a house, they back out right then. So just because there's an application doesn't mean that you're going to see a home sale. It's not like imminent. Someone can get a pre-approval 2 years before they actually buy a house. It wouldn't be strange at all. I can't believe that you're getting refinancing at 35% of the total applicants. That's in this market. In a housing market facing affordability challenges and low inventory, higher rates are causing a pullback or delay in home purchase demand as well. Home purchase activity has been volatile in recent weeks and has yet to see the typical pickup for this time of the year. Buyers hanging in the market are turning more and more to adjustable rate mortgages, which is bad, which carry a lower interest rate but have been shunned as too risky following the last housing crash. I agree, because where are you going on your mortgage rate on the adjustment? Are you going up or down? I think rates are going to go up. I'm just saying. The adjustable rate mortgage share of applications reached 8.5% last week, its highest level since 2019. Adjustable rate mortgages can be fixed rate for terms such as 7 or 10 years and are now underwritten much more carefully than they once were. Mortgage rates continue to climb this week as Treasury yields rose. Higher rates now appear to be hitting the nation's home builders. A report Tuesday from the U.S. Census showed a drop in building permits for single-family homes. These are indicators of future construction. Builders also reported they're now seeing much lower buyer traffic in their model homes, likely due to rising mortgage rates. Well, there's a development. Let me get down here. Let me get to here. There's a development in very close to where I live. And when the houses started, I think they're going to be in the threes. They're going to from 3 to 700,000. I think the lowest house now price is going to be like 460, 465. That's going to be severely like a very base model, 1,400 square feet, maybe. You know, at 2%, 460,000, not so bad. Not so bad over 30 years. At 5.5%, not good. Not good at all. This is happening in every single segment of the market. So, what did we learn today? We learned that like showing houses takes time. It's not like it does, you know, putting together an offer and everything, it takes time. It doesn't happen in 5 minutes. We learned that there were eggs on the highway, 300,000 pounds of them, or 30,000 pounds. I don't know. No matter what you say with the pounds of eggs, that's a lot of eggs. And they're on the highway, and we don't know how they cleaned them up. We're guessing with a squeegee of some kind. We learned that realtors' confidence is up. But, you know, that's more related to when they get a check. Like for me, again, I get a check, I'm happy, and if I don't, I'm sad. We also learned that mortgage applications were down, but they should be because rates are higher. So that's not really a surprise. I think I'm going to head out. I think I've got it set up perfectly to almost be done at like right at 1 hour. And while I probably have many more things I could discuss with you, I shouldn't. I should go back and get some of my work done because I'm going to have to do a lot of things today. you're going to have to do a lot of things wherever you are. But anyway, first show back in a while feels good. Feel good. I feel strong, happy, content. And I just want to say thank you for when you watch. I know you don't watch right when I have the live stream, which is sad, but maybe someday I'll get 10 people in the chat. And if I do, that's great. All right, I'm heading out. Thank you for watching. If you could subscribe, I'd appreciate it, but I get it. You know, you might be wanting to subscribe to the Eagle channel or something like that. And, you know, one more subscription might, you know, I don't know, might be too much for you.